Welcome to It's All Mental podcast. My name is Asiat, and in today's episode, we are going to talk about a conversation that all of us have interacted with in our daily lives. We have debated about it in very many conversations that we've had. We are going to talk about parenting. How was it when we were parented by our own parents, and how is it right now in the digital era? How are we doing it in this era? We want to see or hear from you, who is our audience today, to tell us, how are you doing it from your end? How did you grow up? How did you watch parents in your community doing it? And as you're commenting there, with me today, I have Ronald Ssazi, who is clinical psychologist, who is going to share with us about parenting, the traditional way and the digital way, how we are doing it right now. Ssazi, you're much welcome to It's All Mental podcast, because this has become a home and you have been here.
Sure.
So you can try to talk to our audience as they get to know you, if they weren't able to talk to you.
So thank you for having me here again, Asiat, at It's All Mental. I'm happy to be here always. This is becoming home, really. And I enjoy being here, and I enjoy coming and bring my expertise to the people that watch this episode. So we are talking about parenting.
But before we go there to this topic, I want you, to the new audiences that have come in, I want you to tell them about what you do as a person, so that they get to understand who is this person who's going to explain this topic to us.
I totally believe there are new people that are just seeing me for the first time on this podcast. And so, as she has briefly told you, my name is Ronald Ssazi. I am a clinical psychologist, and I also do pastoring. So I lead a church. I do leadership trainings for many people. So majorly my purpose is to help people become who they are meant to be. Yes, that's me. I should put a disclaimer, Asiat, that the last time I was here, I wasn't married, so I have not parented biological children, but I have parented many children, but I've also been in the business of helping many parents on how they can parent their children. And I've also supported many children who are mentally struggling. So I am the right person to be here, surely.
So Ssazi, as we go ahead, when we talked about parenting in the digital age, for you, when we bring this topic to you, what does it mean to you?
Parenting. Yes. It's a very, very big and very important subject for us to discuss in this era and today, and I'm so happy that we come to discuss it. Parenting, I would say, it's a process. It's a deliberate effort to train, nurture, and also raise children to become fulfilled, independent adults. So that's a very big role. It's a very big responsibility for everybody that comes up to get children, whether biological or adopted or any that comes in your hands, for you to raise them. The goal should be raising them to become fulfilled, independent adults.
Okay, we have seen parenting evolve, and many of us have seen how our parents have really parented us, and how the digital age has also changed things. So we want to hear from you, Ssazi, from your perspective, or where you've grown up from. How did you see parenting from that time? And how parenting has changed right now?
That puts me on a hot seat, really, because talking about my parents' parenting style, and the parenting style that I would love for my children, they are totally different. But I think that was the age. That was the era that we were in. So I can't blame my parents for parenting me that way, because that was the age. That was the time. All they knew was that. And now that we are exposed to so many things and better parenting styles, I think we can make better parents than they were. So going back to the way I was parented, the way I was nurtured or parented by an authoritarian parent. And so back then, and I think it's not me alone.
Even us.
Exactly. The total African parent back then was authoritarian. I have said, so you do.
What I have said.
What I have said, you do. There is no corroborative communication. There is no questioning. The how and the why is reserved to them. All you get to know as a child is the what. I have said this. That's what you have to do. So, being raised by an authoritarian parent, we see many things. We suffer many things. But also, there are advantages to it a bit. Traditional parenting has certain advantages to it, and modern parenting has certain advantages to it. I would suggest that if we come into this discussion, our role shouldn't really be getting people to choose which kind of parenting is needed, traditional or modern. But from our discussion, you will be able to choose which one do you want. Yeah, so I think it's important for everybody that is watching us and you want to parent your children better, to find a balance. Striking a balance between the traditional and the modern. We cannot suggest that the modern way of parenting is better than the traditional way of parenting. We will spark a debate. But also we can't say the traditional one is better. I would suggest that we strike a balance between the traditional and the modern way of parenting, because all of them have their good and their bad. There are so many bad things in the traditional, and yet there are also good things in the traditional way of parenting. But also there are many good things in the modern way of parenting, but also it has its shortcomings. So I would suggest that as we go into this discussion, it's better you find your balance between the modern and the traditional, such that you're able to parent your children better.
Okay, Ssazi, back to the question.
Yes.
It was about how did you see our parents parenting us back in the time?
Yeah, the way our parents parented us as traditional parents, like I said about my parents, they were authoritarian. They would just tell you this, and that's what you do. Their parenting was fueled by punishments and rewards. Their parenting was just disciplinary. It was very disciplinary. It helped us a bit to become...
Not a bit, it helped us a lot.
Oh, sure, it helped us a lot, I could say. But also there are things that we cannot enjoy now if you do not put some efforts because of the way we were parented. So some of us are getting lucky that we are trying to break chains, break cycles, and become who we are becoming because we have probably been exposed to some things, we have taken in some information, we have read, we have studied, we have consulted, and we are becoming better. Otherwise, with our way of parenting, we wouldn't become what we are becoming.
Okay.
But that is not to say that the way we are parented has not contributed a lot to what we are.
Talk about the fact that most of us have been not parented only by our parents, but also the community where we are living. We have seen where the neighbors are involved in this kind of parenting. They are seeing you, their eyes are on you. We've also seen aunties, uncles, well, it has been extended, not only the actual parents, but also other people get involved in this. Could you also dissect more into that?
The African cultural way of parenting was communal. It wasn't nuclear, this family and why. It was communal. Wherever I passed going to school, they would punish me. Somebody sees you along the way doing something wrong, they wouldn't wait for your father or your mother to do the punishment. They would punish you there and then. So we were children to everybody that was in the community. Everybody that was older than we are was a parent to us. So we were parented by everybody. And so they would discipline us wherever we were. And I think that contributes a lot to the discipline that we have, probably more than the modern way of parenting, because it was communal. Everyone was your parent. And living along the community, the clan itself, the clan was a broader way of parenting children. And we had specific cultural things that were done that implemented parenting in every dimension. Take the totem. If you belong to a certain clan,
You're not supposed to marry.
Exactly. You're not supposed to marry this way. You're not supposed to do this. And this one who is of your clan, once they're older than you, if they share the clan with you, they are your father. they are your mother if they share the clan with your mother. They are either your sisters, your elder brothers. And so parenting was real broader in the traditional way, in the cultural way, than it is now. Things are changing a bit. Yes, they are changing a bit such that it came from being communal to being clan-based only, and then from being clan to a slightly bigger extended family, and then from a slightly bigger extended family, we are coming to a single nuclear family. And that's where now parenting is done. And that's why I would say that it takes a lot of effort now in the modern way of parenting to parent, yes, than it was those days. Those days, even if you didn't put so much effort,
other people were supporting you.
Exactly,
everyone was looking out for.
Now the modern day parent has to be very deliberate and very intentional to parent their child to fulfillment, to a fulfilled adult.
Okay, in your view, what are some of the strengths that traditional parenting still holds right now, and those methods that they used back in the time that you feel like even right now we can bring them on board and they are still helping our children to grow into the better adults that we want to look or have them be?
I think the drawing of boundaries is very, very important. An African traditional child knew their boundaries very well. The respect for elders, the respect for parents, they knew that we do not cross here. It was very, very important. And then, number 2, independence. The traditional way of parenting nurtured children to be independent than it is now. They would leave you at some point to figure out things. You don't have to come and ask Dad, how is this done? And no, they would leave you to figure out things.
You struggle.
Exactly. It was a struggle. So it nurtured us as independent. So you come out, you're independent. But these days, you find a 23-year-old, a 22-year-old.
Has to call their parent every time.
Exactly. To make a decision. This is happening. Mommy, this wife is not cooking. What can I do? I'm like, hey. The African man knew what to do with the wife because they had been parented that way. They are figuring out things by themselves. Independence. I think that's what we are kind of getting to lose in the modern way of parenting if we do not become deliberate on it.
Okay, we've also talked about the traditional parenting and we've talked about the elders, the community. How did all these people come to influence decisions in our parenting styles?
Because it was the order of the day, everyone took responsibility of everybody. It's not their child. No, it's our child. It's our community.
The child belongs to the community.
Exactly. The child belongs to the community. Everything was done communally. I remember if it came to cleaning the water source, which we used to call wells, everybody, they would gather, the entire community would all go. And it wasn't somebody's responsibility. It was everybody. So it was to parenting. Everybody knew that they are responsible for every child around the community. You didn't have to tell them, help me with that child. They knew it was their responsibility.
Our children have gadgets, they have all that. Do you think technology has really changed the way parents and their children are interacting? Because often in time right now, we are seeing children are being given a lot of liberty to use technology the way they want it. There are no limits. Because
it's a requirement at school. So as they are growing up, a child is given a tablet so they can watch. And they are learning by cartoon now. Phonics, they are learning all those things. Coco Melon, they are watching and they are learning. And the problem is that if you're not deliberate, it may take your time as a parent from your child. and you think the child is also not caring to seek for attention from you as a parent, because attention is given to the gadget. So I totally believe, as it was on the old, that okay, we have TV, but it should be watched at this particular time. There should be a time that a parent says, okay, this is the time for you to be on your tablet, and this is time for us to be talking together, me and you. This is time for you to be playing with your other siblings. This is time. So that time is needed to stipulate the times. Because if it is not done, it's going to really impact on a child's life and how they grow. Because you've not parented them to know. You've surrendered the responsibility to a gadget that you bought. And probably because you think you have chosen the right programs for them to watch, you think that's all. So there should be communication between the child and the parent. And with the modern way of parenting, to parent children better now, there has to be collaborative decision making. You're sitting with a child and you're discussing issues, and then you talk. Assess the decisions they were going to make, and guide them in making their own decisions.
And tell them the reasons as to why you're doing this.
Exactly. The why should be elaborated currently, not as it used to be.
That brings me back to the conversation of traditional parenting. That most adults right now, the way they are parenting their children is as a result of what happened in the past.
Oh, yes.
Because my parents did not do this, I believe that I should do it.
Yeah.
Therefore, my child, I don't want them to suffer, because we used to call it like suffering. How did they do this? Because they punished you even without telling you the reason behind
why
the punishment.
Yeah.
But right now, someone is like, but the way they treated me is not exactly what I wanted. That is why parents right now are moving away from punishment. And they are into the collaboration that you're saying, that it's better that, when things are not going the way I'm expecting them,
yes,
this is what we can do. Now, the question is, what are some of the mental health challenges that you believe that traditional parenting impacted on the adults right now?
Okay. Now, I should let our viewers know that there are 3 parenting styles. And when you get this, it will help you as a parent. And number 1 is the authoritarian style.
Yes.
And number 2 is the authoritative style. And number 3 is the permissive style of parenting. Now, the best one would be the authoritative. Now, I call the authoritative parent the parent who has learned to balance between the traditional and the modern. They are able to stipulate principles for their children, but they are also able to collaborate with their child and talk through these principles, such that the child is able to work with these principles when they know why they need these principles, and they're able to execute them. Now, the mental health problems that many children are facing as a result of the traditional way of parenting, and that is mostly the authoritarian parents. This is what you're going to see. An authoritarian parent is going to nurture a child who is going to lack self-esteem. The biggest problem that they face is a lack of self-esteem. And so somebody grows and they suffer self-esteem lack. They do not have self-esteem. They are not able to talk to people.
Because they were only used to listening.
Exactly. All they do is listen. Do not be where old people are. What are you saying?
Yes,
What do you have to say when old people are speaking? So you're always chased away. In a way, your self-esteem is deteriorating.
Now comes a time that you have gone to do an interview with the older people that you are scared of.
You're scared of them because they always told you, man, you do not speak when old people are speaking. You do not come in those interactions.
Now you are intimidated. Even to say
there is that intimidation. So there is no assertiveness among children that have been nurtured by authoritarian parents. And that's a mental health problem that they are going to suffer. But just imagine, since my childhood, I've been talking to daddy. I've been talking to mommy. If I can talk to mommy, who am I going to fear to talk to?
Who can I not talk to?
Who can I not talk to? So it's important that we really cross a little from that and are able to talk with our children. It nurtures that self-esteem. They can be able to talk to anybody else since they have been able to talk to mommy and daddy.
Could also anxiety be there as a mental health related
Certainly,
challenge?
speaking anxiety, public anxiety is going to come as a result, because I don't have self-esteem. I can't sit behind the camera and talk to people here. I can't stand before people and talk to them. So anytime I know I have a task to do that, I'm going to be anxious. Anxiety is really going to come. But also remember, you have grown with an authoritarian parent who always gives you orders. This is, and this, you should do this, you should do this, and this is what you should do. Now you cross to a time where it has to be you alone.
Making the decisions.
You're making the decisions by yourself. Now that autonomy is destroying many people or many children in their early adulthood. Because previously, there has been no autonomy at all. And now, they are getting autonomy. What is going to happen is they are going to get into these other
behaviors that they've been seeing other people do.
Exactly. Now I have the liberty.
Oh my goodness.
That's why when we're crossing to campus from secondary school, you're going to university, and everybody's like, people get spoiled at the university. Be careful. I mean, why didn't you prepare me from the word go for such a time? And so you're telling me to be cautious now, but I didn't have that.
I've also seen it in children who have been in single schools, where they have not been able to have a chance either. If I've been in a girls' school, I've not been able to see how
exactly
boys
I don't know how to interact with a boy.
Yes.
The opposite sex.
And on the other side as well.
Hey.
So you find it that when they reach the time of campus, they are really exposed to a lot of things that they have never imagined that they're going to be able to see.
I missed this for so long.
Yes.
Now I have it at my disposal. Why not enjoy it? And so that's a problem with the traditional.
And that's why you see some parents are like, oh, my daughter got pregnant, did this, what, at the end of the day, they feel like they didn't do enough to prepare this person for the life that they're going to live.
And it's all because of the style you have decided to use to parent. Now, that's the traditional. Coming to the modern, and they also have problems.
Yes.
Now, the modern day parent also makes a mistake of becoming permissive.
They give you all the liberty to
exactly.
do what you want.
That I am not that traditional parent.
They are running away from what their parents were.
Exactly. Trying to run away from the disciplinary parent your father was. And so you become very permissive and you let your child be. They decide what they want to do.
My son said that they don't want to do that.
Exactly. My son says this. So Jack has decided. And so you're just letting them be. Now, permissiveness is a problem in parenting. It has become a problem in the modern way parenting. Now, the traditional parent is never permissive. The traditional parent is an authoritarian. The modern parent, if not careful, becomes permissive. And then they just let things be. And so what happens is that a child that has grown up with a permissive parent, they are also going to suffer problems, that they are going to do things that you wouldn't wish them to do. That's why we find drug addictions these days too rampant, because it's they do whatever they want to do. Teenage pregnancies, clubbing and everything. So they are getting spoiled at a very, very early age because of the permissiveness that we have embraced. I would recommend the authoritative parent, the balance between the traditional and the modern.
I ask, I punish, but at the same time, I involve you.
Exactly.
Okay.
We corroborate and we communicate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have also talked about how can parents right now, like you've said, balance the culture expectations, because the cultures expect different things out of us as parents. How can they balance that respect, that discipline, that modesty that they had back in the time with this modern day digital world?
Yes.
How can they balance the two?
And that's why I said we need to really be very intentional. We know the values that were instilled in us by our cultures. We want to always find the values that were real good and appropriate and still continue with them. For example, socializing. In our modern way, in our modern day parenting, a child who is just watching their phone and their gadget always, they are going to become antisocial.
They isolate.
They are going to isolate. So I want to train my child to be social. And that's when I should find, who are your friends at school? Show me your friends.
Who is so and so? I heard you saying Rachel.
Yes, you talked about
Who is
Rachel.
Rachel? Let me meet Rachel.
Can we meet Rachel? Can
Let
we
me
go
also
out
meet
with them?
Let me also meet Rachel's parents.
Yes. So that goes these values back into this child, and you're able to nurture them as society would really want them to be. Yeah, but it takes a lot of effort. A lot of effort.
And to the parents who are struggling right now to balance between the two, I was brought up in this way, but at the end of the day, I struggled to find myself that I have restored my self-esteem. I am now capable. I am now confident. And I don't want to install the same kind of fear that I had towards my parents the same way. I wouldn't want it to be with my children. So that kind of parent, what do you think they can do right now as they are disciplining this child, they are grooming them, they are making them a better person for the future? What can they do right now if they feel like they are really struggling to balance between the two? Because you've said, let's balance. But now for me, I'm finding I'm struggling with that. How do I do it?
Okay. Now, the problem comes in when you're falling on a certain path because of what you went through. You were not okay. You were traumatized by all the ways you were parented. And so you want to give your child a better kind of growth area. And so if you're trying that, you may tend to be permissive because you don't want to be authoritarian. I would suggest give yourself the time and your children the time that you can come together and talk about what is good for you. You're asking them. Ask more questions. Ask your children more questions. Instead of giving orders, ask more questions. And instead of just letting it be, guide on their decisions. Two things. Ask more, guide on their decision. Don't let a child just take a decision because you think it should be their decision. You should be the parent to guide. The
big person in the picture.
Exactly. You are there as a guider. But also you shouldn't be someone who dictates onto them. Instead of dictating, ask a question. Ask them, what do you think about this? What were you planning to do? So they are going to tell you. As they are telling you, you're able to direct on their decisions. So guidance, offer guidance, ask more questions, put an environment that encourages open communication.
And communication.
Yes.
Okay, as we are ending this conversation today, I want us to, the parent who's watching, the person who probably you are a caretaker, and you're not yet a parent, what kind of advice would you think they should, take home with them right now as we are talking about this digital age and the parenting styles that they're using right now?
Okay, whatever it is, if you're a caretaker, you probably you're not you don't have biological children. I would say anyone that is in your care, consider them a child to you. You have the responsibility of parenting that child. whether biological or not, you carry the responsibility of parenting that child. Remember, when I was talking about parenting, I did not say it is the nurturing of your biological child. It is any child that is in your care. So please take it as a responsibility for you to consider what we have said and help those children become fulfilled, independent adults.
Okay, and to wind up this conversation, to you who is watching us today, you are commenting, and we are going to be also listening and reading your comments, but also to bring to your notice, I believe that we can balance between the two. We shouldn't let go of our culture because we are seeing our children are running away from it because they don't even know how to speak in their local languages. But also let them go ahead and learn about this modernity that is coming in place, because we have to strike a balance. The world is moving at a fast pace, but how do we as parents be able to strike a balance between the two? And also, I recommend, if you feel like you are really struggling, get another person to mentor you, to support you, to give you the advice.
Very important.
To even listen to your children, because sometimes some of us are scared of talking to our children and we don't know even how to interact with them. Get a third party to enter into that life of that child that you are nurturing, so that you can get to understand them, so that you can be a better guardian to them or a better parent to them in this digital era. Therefore, as we are concluding this episode, we really want to appreciate you for staying all this long, for giving us those comments, for following and subscribing to our channel. We really appreciate that. But as we are continuing, don't forget that you also need that support so that you can be able to support the child that is in your care. Thank you for watching. I am Asiat, and this is It's All Mental Podcast. See you.